Hi, my name is Kyle Limelstead, and I will be talking about sensitivity analysis, which is learning objective 3. So what is sensitivity analysis and why should we care? We have already gone over CVP analysis to find break-even points and target profit volumes. Managers also use CVP analysis to perform sensitivity analysis. Sensitivity analysis is essentially a what-if technique that will have us ask ourselves what the results would be if our actual prices change, if our costs change, or if our sales mix changes. What do we have to be aware of when competition forces us to adjust our sales prices, and will our suppliers increase our costs? Let's start with an example of adjusting our sales price. Let's say we run a bookstore selling paperback books. The sales price per book is $25 and our variable cost per book is $10. This means we have a $15 contribution margin per book. Now Barnes & Noble just opened up across town, forcing us to lower our sales price to $20 per book to stay with the competition. Our variable cost is still $10, but this leaves us with a new contribution margin of only $10. Our formula to see how many books we need to sell to break even and to hit our target profit volume is fixed expenses plus operating income over contribution margin per unit. So if our fixed expenses is $5,000 and our target profit is $3,000, we would have had to sell 534 books based on our original contribution margin. Because of competition and our lowered prices, we now have to sell 800 books to hit our target profit volume. If all else remains the same when sales price goes down, then unit contribution margin goes down, which means the volume we need to break even or achieve target profit goes up. When sales price goes up, unit contribution margin goes up, which in turn means we need less volume to hit those same goals. Now let's say that we don't change our sales price and it's still at $25. What if our supplier increases the cost on our books from $10 to $13? To stay competitive in the market, we can't increase our prices to cover this cost. So our contribution margin changes from $15 to $12. This now means we would have to sell 667 books to hit our target profit volume instead of the original 534 books. If all else remains the same, when variable cost goes up, the contribution margin goes down, making the volume we need to hit our goals to increase. If variable costs go down, our contribution margin goes up, making the volume we need to decrease. If both factors change, competition forcing us to lower our prices to $20 a book and suppliers increasing our costs to $13 per book, that leaves us with a new contribution margin of $7, which means we would have to sell 1,143 books to hit our goal. Quite the change to be aware of when managing your own business, when you have to go from selling 534 books to 1,143 books to hit your fixed costs and target profit volume. What else can we do? We could change our fixed costs. The important thing to remember about changes in fixed costs is that it does not change the contribution margin. However, it will change the volume we need to hit our break-even point. When fixed cost goes up, the volume we need to sell goes up. When it goes down, the volume we need to sell goes down. CVP is also useful to isolate individual business decisions. What if we wanted to spend $2,000 a month on advertising for our bookstore? How many more books would we have to sell to break even on that cost? Using the same formula, we would have to sell an extra 134 books to cover that cost based on our original contribution margin. Sensitivity analysis is essential to remain competitive in the market and to adjust your prices accordingly due to competition or increasing variable costs. As you have seen, it can have a dramatic effect on the amount of product you need to sell to hit your goals. Hopefully this video has helped you to gain a better understanding of what sensitivity analysis is and why it matters.